how to take an idea and go straight to MVP in just minutes. We're going to be walking you through the process on what I've been doing over the last 28 days on this channel, building in public, and how I was able to fast track the process. So I don't want to waste any more time. Let's get right into it. We're going to be talking about Idea Browser, y'all. Idea Browser is the thing that really helped push us over to the top, build out this foundation to start building this project out. And I want to just go over it real quick because I do feel like not a lot of people are talking about it. And how it's helped me and can help you is specifically for the people that are using Claude code to build out these products. So we're using Idea Browser to really help fast track all the processes. So to develop the marketing plan, the product requirement documents, to how to target the correct audience, a plan, a vision. Every business needs this, and it just takes so much time to do it yourself. Idea Browser can help you take that next step. So where this initially came from, and I've had this idea for 2 years now, but I never knew how to bring it to pass. I've been in the reselling niche for 5 years. I know that it takes hours and hours a day creating manual listings of taking photos of items and then listing them on eBay, listing them on Poshmark. It is so annoying, and it is such an archaic process that there needs to be some innovation in this space. So when I saw this idea on Idea Browser, I decided to go all in on it, and I've spent over 100 hours now on this project, putting it together, as you have seen on the channel. But maybe you have an idea right now and you don't know how to make it come to pass. The thing that really is difficult for most founders and solo developers is doing the research. Like, is this idea even worth creating? Maybe it's a good idea in your mind, but no one else wants it. There's no demand. That's where we can go to Idea Browser and validate the idea. This comes with a lot of data that can help you see more clearly if this idea is going to actually be worth doing. And of course, the space is changing all the time. But if you go to ideabrowser.com, you get a free idea every day. I'm actually on the paid plan, so I can get access to over hundreds of ideas that have been published to the site. Today's idea is AI product data cleaner for e-commerce, and it goes over just kind of the brief summary. It also gives you, as far as, I think they pulled this from Google Analytics, where it just shows you, like, is there demand, is there search volume based around this niche or this category? Really cool. It gives you different keywords you could look up too. But I'm going to show you the thing that I really like about this is that not only you can see if you as a founder are going to be a good fit for this app that you're trying to build, it comes with a lot of little things you can input into Bolt, Lovable, Claude Code, multiple different building platforms that you could start your project. So just gives you a brief overview. This got me fired up when I first initially saw it, because it has been a big problem in the industry where, you know, the main thing is people don't want to list items anymore. It's just so tedious. People love to shop, but what they don't like to list. And this is just going to help solve that problem. That is the hero product. That is the hero element to our product, EasyFlip.ai. And what I really like is that you can start building right away. So you're just going to go, you're going to start building. The idea builder is automatically going to help you take the next step in this process. So you can see here, you can get ad creatives, so get some good ideas on how you're going to be running ads for your product. It's going to give you a brand packaging with color schemes, landing pages, what the logo should look like, things like that. And then the landing page will be built out as well. And you're probably wondering, well, yeah, what do I do with all this data? For me and my business, I've been creating Claude projects. So I have a project specifically designated for EasyFlip.ai. I took all of the files and fed it into this project, and then we just started building, which is great. So you can see here, so let's say I wanted a landing page. You're going to get a prompt for that landing page. Create a complete high-converting landing page for this business idea. This should include all copy, layout instructions, wireframe details, and so forth. So basically what you would do with this is then you would just copy prompt and see all tools. You could bring it right into Bolt, Lovable, VO, Replit, Cursor, Claude, ChatGPT, Manus, Gemini. Let's just use Bolt for example. And then you're going to basically build out this idea within minutes, which is pretty cool. I mean, yeah, I know you could probably do it by yourself with Claude, but this just takes a few steps out, and I'm all about saving time. So you can see here, that's the under the popular tab, there's a marketing tab, product tab, business tab, and research tab. If you go to the marketing tab, it kind of keeps you on track if you want to create content around this idea. You are a content marketing strategist and editorial planning expert. Create a comprehensive 90-day content calendar that systematically builds the audience, establishes authority, and drives business results through strategic content distribution. So you could basically take all of this, feed it into Claude, and then start a new chat, and then go boom. And then within a couple minutes, that's going to have a great foundation for your content strategy. But I want to get to the most important part for the people that are using Claude Code. That is going to be your product requirements document. You need to have that in place if you're starting to build with Claude Code and you want to give Claude Code some context onto what you're going to be building. By putting in a PRD into Claude Code, you're going to be able to have a good and well-structured Claude Markdown file, and this is going to be the basic brain for your Claude Code to operate. So you just go to product requirements document. You're going to be able to copy and paste this into Claude as well. And then we are going to, let me pull up Cursor. I use Claude Code within Cursor, and then after it comes up with the PRD, this is going to be one of the first steps you want to take when you're starting to use Claude Code. Once you have the PRD set in the root folder, you're going to want to initialize within Claude Code to be able to read that PRD, to be able to start building out that Claude Markdown file. It came up with a beautiful product requirements document that is just like it's a good framework onto what this project is about. I believe your project is only as good as the information that you give it. And Claude Code is amazing by itself, but it's basically worthless if it has no idea what you're trying to build. Trust me, I learned that the hard way, guys. You don't know how many times I've restarted Claude Code just to be able to get it an idea of what we're trying to build. And it all just really came down, thankfully, for the people that are in Startup Empire, they were just going over like how important a product requirement document is inside of Claude Code so you can give your project some structure, direction. So building out that PRD was a huge first step to 100x your results on Claude Code, because without it, my project was directionless. It didn't know what I wanted. I wanted to set up OAuth. I wanted to set up the flow on how, to assign the SKU number and how to, how the GPT vision is supposed to analyze it. And I had to explain all of this. And it was just so annoying and tedious that with this PRD, it was able to at least get some of the concepts of what we're trying to do here in this project. So once you get that PRD, you're going to want to get Claude Code and get it all initialized in your project so it can develop a Claude Markdown file. And you can see here it has product overview. Transform casual selling from a 2 to 3 hour manual process into a 5-minute automated experience using AI-powered photo recognition, pricing, and cross-platform listing automation. And I would say, especially for the beginners out there, I knew none of this a month ago, by the way. For the beginners out there, you want to start off on the right track. Otherwise, you're going to get kicked in the stomach. This is a very frustrating development process if you have no idea what you're doing. But it's like that with all things. But why not get set up on the right track that can actually make it more of an enjoyable process by putting the tools in Claude Code so it can work? Not saying it wouldn't work by itself, but I'm talking to the people that have no experience doing this. These are the things you need to do to be able to understand what are some of the concepts that I need to give Claude Code so it can understand what we're trying to build. If you don't give it any context on what you're trying to build, it's just gonna web search, it's gonna come up with its own ideas, and it's probably not gonna give you the end result that you're looking for after spending multiple hours on it. And I've been there before, and I'm still learning. I am a lifelong learner, but this is the thing that I wish I had done from day one. If you go back and look on the channel and look at our day 1, day 2, day 3, it was good, but we were building up this thing that we would have been much further ahead if we had just done this right away. And not saying you need to use Idea Browser, but Idea Browser is going to help you get a head start, especially if you're a beginner out there and you're wanting to get started into this space. There is other things within this Idea Browser that is going to be very helpful for you, not just the content calendar, but email sequences, what's a good lead magnet based around this product that I can do. It's really cool, and I tell you that there's nothing more important to feel clarity when you're building out a project, especially if you're just starting out. Is like, I was so confused when I started out, but having this as kind of like a foundation to build upon gave me a little bit more clarity. Like, I didn't need to come up with my content calendar. I didn't need to build out the PRD myself. So it's really nice. And you could do all this in Claude Code by yourself, but you can see I copy and pasted the content calendar marketing strategist, and it says, I'm excited to help you build this from the ground up. And it just comes up with a nice, simple calendar, which you could also give this to Claude Code as well as a markdown file to kind of keep you on track and gives you more context on what you should be doing. I do believe that would help. The more context you can give Claude on your project, I think the better. But there's other cool things too. There's a research competitive analysis tab. It says you are a competitive and intelligence expert and market research specialist. Create a comprehensive competitive analysis to identify market gaps, positioning opportunities, and strategic advantages. So we could just copy that. We could just copy it and go right into Claude, but I'm going to go into my specific project. That way it knows a little bit more information on what we've built so far, because we're about 90% of the way finished in this project. We just need to set up our authentication and database. So we're really close. So we copy and paste that, and I just say do work, and then it's going to go to work on that. I think it's important to have a project within Claude as you're working with Claude Code, so you can kind of go back and forth. That's the workflow that's been helping with me, because y'all, this is intimidating. Getting inside of a terminal and figuring all this out by yourself, if you have no experience, I tell you, it's so difficult. For me, it may not be difficult for all the quick learners out there, but for me, I didn't know what a bash command was. I didn't know what was a hook, a curl. What are we talking about here? But to be able to have another window open within Claude Code and Claude Project, I'm able to kind of go back and forth. I can copy paste, or whatever Claude Code's telling me, and I can just go back into Claude Project and say, hey, this is what we're working on right now. Break it down as if I were a 5-year-old. What are we doing here exactly? And it's really been helpful because I've been able to get better as a solo developer. Call it for what you will. I'm just trying my best here, but it's been really helpful in my learning process. I'm speaking to the people that are just getting started. This is what I wish I had done when I first started my project, because I have literally spent hours and days of fixing bugs, fixing errors, going back, deleting things, and it's just been so annoying. It's made me want to quit multiple times, and I don't want you to quit on your idea for that reason. So I'm ready to serve as your professional business analyst and guide for home sale helper. That's what it was originally called on Idea Browser. We rebranded to EasyFlip.ai. And based on the comprehensive business context you provided, I can see we have a solid foundation, clear value proposition, strong market opportunity, defined revenue model. And it just goes on. You can also hit the research button within Claude Projects. It could dive a little bit deeper on that. But I would just say, hey, if you haven't checked out ideabrowser.com, what are you waiting for, y'all? Not only do you get an idea of the day, you have over 400 ideas in the database. That's for paid users. So worth it. Your time is everything. There is so many things in here. It can be kind of overwhelming. So instead of looking through it, maybe you have an idea right now. You want to help elderly people. You're just feeling like you feel called to help the elderly. So let's type in elderly, and you can see there's 2 ideas already right here based around the idea of helping elderly people. Senior Scam Guardian, AI protection for vulnerable elderly people. And then you got Smart Home Companion, subscription maintenance. These are interesting. Subscription maintenance that actually works. So you can see here, there's already validation. And nothing is worse than launching a product, in my opinion, not having done it before. But if I was to launch a product and spend hours working on it, days working on it, and no one buys it or there's no demand, not saying it was a waste of time because you learned a lot in the process, but that would be very demoralizing. That'd be very depressing, and I don't want you to be in that position. So take your idea, go to Idea Browser, validate it, at least go to Google search, Google Trend Search, and see if there's actually some search traffic based around that. Once you have validation, you can continue to build this out. So for me, we already have 112 email signups on our wait list, and we don't even have the product. You know, we're at 90% finished, but it's that last 10%. It's probably going to take me a couple more weeks to finish before we start beta testing this. Create the landing page, get the idea out there, start capturing emails, see if people are interested, build in public if you have to. I'm just trying to show people like me, like yourself, that are beginners out there, that you could do this as well, and how we can avoid mistakes of going down the wrong path when using such a powerful tool like Claude Code. Claude Code is amazing, but it needs tools. It needs proper documentation to execute your idea. So I wanted to make a quick video like this just to help a lot of the beginners out there, catch you up to speed on where we're at in this project. And we're going to continue to make videos as often as possible showing what we are doing. I hope you guys have a blessed rest of the day, and we'll see you in the next one.